What's going on, everyone? Welcome into Week 12, Round 2 of the OHSAA Playoffs, Division 3, Region 11. Will Ford here with you from Storied Rivals Sports Media. And on tap tonight, we've got the number 4 seed Tri-Valley Scotties first round bye in Week 11. They're taking on the number 5 seed Hamilton Township Rangers, who got a 40-12 win over Independence in Week 11, a team that they played earlier in the regular season and handled with ease. And so now these two teams will go to battle tonight. And for head coach Cam West of the Scotties, this is only the second time in his career that he's ever matched up against Hamilton Township. Now, not as a player or as a coach here at Tri-Valley, but when he was at Granville, Granville played against Hamilton Township a number of years ago. If that's worth anything, probably not, as we're 6-7 years beyond that time now. But these two teams going to battle tonight, and they're two teams that have outstanding running games and outstanding weapons on the outside as well. The only difference may be experience versus inexperience at the quarterback position, but Cam West knows better than anybody how to be a championship-level quarterback, but also how to coach one as well. And Stone Spiker, only being a sophomore, he's going to make his first career playoff start tonight. He's had a terrific season. We'll go into the numbers here a little bit later in the show, but how much will they have to rely on him in the third and fourth quarter of a tight game if this game is close? But really, the story of both of these football teams, it's the running games. And we'll start with the Tri-Valley Scotties and Leevi Wade. And Leevi, I had a chance to watch him a couple times this season, Week 1 at Meadowbrook and then Week 9 at Sheridan. He is just tremendous as a sophomore. 1,800 yards, 7 yards a carry, almost 200 yards rushing a game, and 31 touchdowns. He is just a monster, and I imagine the first-round bye really is going to pay dividends for the Scotties. For the main reason is health. And Leevi, as often as he touches the football, your offensive line, how much they're asked to run block during the course of a game, probably 85-90% of the time they're run blocking and they're really getting in there in the trenches, and Levi's getting hit on every single play. You got to imagine just having a week to preserve your health, not get hit. That's got to be huge for Tri-Valley as often as they run the football. It's a little bit different than what they've done in years past, having more experienced quarterbacks, but with a younger quarterback relying on that running game, having that rest is huge. But it's also a double-edged sword at the same time. It's a double-sided coin because I guess all coins are double-sided, but you get my point, is that could that first-round bye, having that week off, not playing football, kind of disrupting your rhythm, so to speak, is Tri-Valley going to come out a little bit slow and sluggish? And Cam West talked about that in the interview. We'll play that for you here in a few minutes as well. It's yet to be seen how the first-round bye is going to work for Tri-Valley. Are they going to come out slow and sluggish as if this has kind of disrupted them, or are they going to come out rested, ready to go, and firing on all cylinders? It's yet to be seen, but that's the world that we live in now with this shrunken down 12-team playoffs. The first 4 seeds get byes. You get that week of rest. And being one of the top teams in your region, in your division, you've earned that right to not only have a week off, but then host a playoff game the following week as well. So a lot of things working in Tri-Valley's favor. And we talked about the run game, but let's talk about their sophomore quarterback as well as one of his top weapons and maybe the best player in the MVL and in the area defensively, the best corner in Ryan Lamonica. But Stone, 58% completion percentage, 1,300 yards passing, 15 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. So just under 1 interception a game. But for a young quarterback, you almost expect that a little bit. But he really hasn't put the ball in harm's way all that much. And what you like about Stone is that he does take chances. He will throw the ball down the field. And sometimes that's going to lead to an interception or two. But that's better than just dinking and dunking up the field. You want to be able to move the football effectively. And Ryan Lamonica, man, oh man, is he special. Not only as a receiver, but as a corner as well, and maybe a better corner than he is receiver. But he's got 6 receiving touchdowns this season, over 500 receiving yards, but he's got 9 interceptions, which is just unbelievable, almost an interception a game. And against John Glenn in Week 10, he had 2 pick sixes in one half. It's just unbelievable. He's got multiple pick sixes this year. He is just a stud on both sides of the football. And then not to mention as well, you've got a player like Luka Gargis, who has been banged up the last couple of weeks and really all season long, I guess. He had a concussion in Week 9, first play of the game against Sheridan, but to get him back, get him healthy, have a week of rest for him, he is a guy that can take the top off the defense and just such a good deep threat for Stone Spiker. And I'll tell you what, man, this Tri-Valley Scotties offense, it heavily favors the run. It's heavy on the run, but when they throw it, they've got weapons as good as any team in this area and in this playoff field here in Division III that can really go out and win some football games. The challenge tonight, though, is going to be matching up against this Hamilton Township Rangers offense, and how does their secondary, we know Ryan Lamonica can make plays, but how does the secondary match up against the myriad of receivers that they have? They have two good running backs, a quarterback that really knows how to spread it around. They don't really rely on any one given receiver. They spread it around, and that forces your defense to be on the lookout at all times. You can't really key in on one guy, and I think that's what's special about Tennyson Varney's offense here with the Hamilton Township Rangers. But we'll dive into the numbers with Hamilton Township here in a minute. Let's take a look or talk to, I should say, to Cam West of the Tri-Valley Scotties about this shrunken down 12-team playoff, the bye week, how it's impacted his team's preparation, but getting ready for this Hamilton Township Ranger offense as well, and how they match up in this Division III Region 11 matchup. Thanks for being here live with Storied Rivals on Facebook, X, and YouTube. And here is head coach Cam West of the Tri-Valley Scotties.
Tri-Valley Scotties joining us here for week number 12 with Storied Rivals and round 2 of the playoffs. And you had a bye in week 11, Coach. And I kind of want to start with that and kind of get your thoughts on this shrunken down playoff field this year. For the last couple of years, it was 16 teams, and now it's 12, and the top 4 seeds in each region get a bye, and you had a bye week in week 11. What were your thoughts on that? Do you think the bye helped you, or some coaches like to just keep playing and not have that downtime? But what were your thoughts on it? Because there's benefits and drawbacks, I guess, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah, I think the answer is to be seen, to be honest. It kind of depends how we play. This week, see if we kind of got caught in a lull or not. But I think for us, it was a good week to kind of get back to basics and focus on individual skills, just football, not really preparing for a team, having an idea of what 2 different teams do, mixing some of that stuff in for both teams that we could have potentially played.
Sure.
But just getting back to the basics, a lot of individual time, working on just football stuff, tackling, where it doesn't really matter who you're playing. You got to be able to tackle. So, and it was a less physical week for us, a little less time on the field, more time for our kids to kind of rest and relax. And so is it a good or bad thing? We'll see. So our kids handled it the right way. They took practice serious, even though we didn't have an opponent. We tried to stay as normal as we could, just kind of made the practice schedule a little bit shorter. Didn't practice on Friday because we never do. So hopefully our kids took advantage of just not getting pounded for a week, which is good for us.
Is that the main benefit you think is just health and just kind of, like you said, guys aren't out there hitting each other every day of the week, and you don't have a football game to play on a Friday, and it helps your offensive line, stay healthy. And Leevi, who gets a ton of touches and he's getting tackled on virtually every play. I mean, he saves his health a little bit. And then obviously Luca got banged up in week 9 and then he played in week 10. But is that the main benefit of having that week off?
Yeah, I would think just from a health standpoint, I think it is helpful. You also get to, maybe you want to install some things and work on them for 2 weeks, stuff that you haven't done.
Right.
So we've done that and installed a few things that we hadn't worked on, and we got an extra week to work on it. So, but it was nice to kind of get our guys, especially if we're playing a physical brand of football, running the football a lot. So to get Leevi some rest for a week was definitely a good thing. And Luca has been kind of banged up all season, so to get him an extra week of rest, not getting tackled, it was a good thing.
Yeah. Now, how does Stone Spiker feel going into his first career playoff game? He's a sophomore, and he's had a good season, but obviously the running game is the dominant part of your offense, and you lean on that. But when you need Stone to make throws, he does a good job of making them. How does he feel preparation-wise as he gets ready to step into his first playoff game as a sophomore?
Yeah, I think he feels confident, and I think an extra week of practice without a game really helps a young quarterback. just getting back to completing normal passes and working on some blitz pickup and understanding where to throw the ball, where to look. I think that's beneficial for a young quarterback, and he took advantage of last week. Had a really good week of practice last week, and has had a good week of practice this week too. So I think he's confident. He's a lot more comfortable now, week 12, than he was week 1 in terms of what we're trying to do, what we're asking him to do. And like I said, having a run game makes playing quarterback a lot easier. So if we can run the ball effectively, we can get guys open using play action and things like that. Just really help a young quarterback.
Now, obviously, like last week, you didn't know who you were going to be playing against, but it's Hamilton Township. And as you get deeper into these playoffs, like we're into round 2, you're going to be going up against dudes every week, no matter who you play. And Hamilton Township's got a handful of dudes, especially on the offensive side of the ball. You got Beverly Akin and Suge Brown, who just run the ball really well, and Akin's a good back out of the backfield as well. He plays well on defense. But Lucas King, their quarterback, really spreads it around. He's got a couple different – he threw 3 touchdowns last week in their playoff game. He's just got a lot to work with offensively. I mean, talk to me about what you've seen with their film and how you match up.
Yeah, really good football team. Like I told our kids, it's week 12. Everyone's good. Everyone has players. I think Hamilton Township does a really good job, like you said, spreading the ball around. You can't really focus on, hey, we're going to take away this guy because they have multiple guys that they can get the ball to in space. They can turn and hand the ball to very good running backs. And one thing I think that I've been most impressed watching them on film is how physical they are up front. I think their offensive and defensive lines are really good. They're big. They're physical, and they play really, really hard. So it's going to be a challenge. And we've talked to our kids for 2 weeks, not knowing last week who we were playing, that it was going to be a challenge. You're playing good teams late in the season, and they got to play last week too, which could be to their advantage. That is to be seen. So I'm excited for it. It's a team that we haven't played here at Tri-Valley. That's another cool thing about the playoffs. You get to see some teams, scout some teams that you haven't played before. Mm-hmm. We did play them one time when I was at Granville back in the day, so whatever that's worth. But it was nice kind of scouting a new team. But it's going to be a challenge. They're really, really good, well coached. They play really hard. They play a fast, physical brand of football, and they can also be a finesse team and get the ball to their playmakers in space. They make you defend the whole field.
Now, I know when we talked a couple weeks ago, you mentioned, your secondary maybe hadn't made a ton of plays this season. It was a bit on the younger side, but obviously Ryan Lamonica is the leader of that group, and he made tons of, he had 2 pick sixes against John Glenn. We know the type of player he is, but how much are you challenging your secondary this week to match up against this offense? Like you said, they spread it out, and there's not one guy that you can really key on, so they're not necessarily going to go to one side of the field or the other. How much are you challenging them this week to be, at the top of their game?
Yeah, I've challenged our secondary almost every week in terms of we got to start making plays, and we did a better job week 10 against John Glenn, getting 2 scores defensively. 2 pick sixes is huge, and in big games late in the season, stealing a possession, making a play defensively, getting off the field on 3rd down, those are huge. So we've got to start making more plays in the secondary, and I think we have the guys to do it. I think they've got to be – they kind of play scared to make a mistake at times, which makes them not play very fast. So we've kind of worked on that, kind of attacking the football, anticipating and attacking the football, because these guys are going to give you opportunities to make plays. You just got to make them. That's kind of – we've talked to our kids, not just the secondary all season. You're going to have opportunities to make plays in big games. It comes down to we got to quit talking about it. We got to start making those plays. So we focused on that here the past couple weeks.
How exciting is it to have this game at home?
Yeah, I definitely think that's an advantage. That's one advantage of being a top 4 seed. You get a week off, and then you get a home game. So we love playing at home. I think we have good home field advantage in terms of you don't have to travel anywhere. You don't have to pack a bag. Make sure you have all your stuff. Everything's here. We don't have to carry a bunch of equipment everywhere. So it's definitely going to be nice. And Hamilton Township's never played here too. So it'll be all new for them. So we hopefully that's to our advantage.
Yeah, well, we're looking forward to being there Friday night, Coach. Thanks for hopping on for 8 to 10 minutes talking football, man. Love talking to you each and every year, and I'm glad we got a chance to sit down again, and best of luck against Hamilton Township.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Thank you.
love talking to Coach Cam West, and it's interesting this matchup against Hamilton Township, how he's going to line up against some weapons that Hamilton Township has. And, Township is going to be out without one of their big weapons, but the one weapon that they do have is their star running back, Kal-El Beverly Akin. 1,500 yards rushing this season, 1,572 yards, 7 yards a carry, almost 8 yards a carry, 143 yards rushing per game, and 13 rushing touchdowns. And if you take a look at their other weapons, their quarterback has got at their disposal. Lucas King, their quarterback, number 17 here on the right, 58, almost 59% completion percentage, 1,700 yards passing, 20 touchdowns to just 7 interceptions. And on the left, Jovon McBride, the one weapon in this game, he is out after sustaining an injury at the end of the regular season. He is not playing, but his numbers worth noting because of how impactful of a player he is. He's got over 2,000 yards receiving in his career, and on the season, 623 receiving yards, 13 touchdowns, and would have been a premier player in this game had he not gone down with an injury. But still, plenty of weapons for Hamilton Township, and their next guy up in terms of leading receivers, Davius Packnett, 574 yards receiving, 3 touchdowns, and for Hamilton Township, they'll have to rely on him in the pass game. He is their number one target in terms of yardage and touchdowns. They'll have to throw the ball to him a lot more. And Suge Brown out of the backfield, running back, gets a lot of carries in the red zone, had 2 one-yard touchdowns last week for Hamilton Township against Independence in their 40-12 win in round 1 of the playoffs. So they're going to have to rely on some other guys with McBride out and spread the ball around, and they did a good job of that in Week 11. But can they keep that up Week 12 against a hungry and very physical Tri-Valley defense led by Ryan Lamonica on the back end? How do they match up? It's going to be really interesting to see, but we're going to get ready to hop on out of here in a few minutes. Let's take you through our matchups for round 2 of the playoffs, games that we're covering for Storied Rivals. So this is really interesting. I mentioned this last week. The Olentangy's playing each other in in Division 1, Region 3. It's Olentangy Orange, the number 1 seed, taking on number 8 Olentangy Berlin. Olentangy taking on the state champs, Olentangy Liberty. That's 4 seed versus 5. And then Upper Arlington, the 6 seed, taking on the 3 seed, Pickerington North on the road. Granville with a thrilling game-winning field goal by Bodie Shopes, 34 yards. They take down Sheridan in just a nail-biter for round 1 of the playoffs. The game, certainly the game of the week last week on our schedule. They're going to be taking on Bishop Watterson, the number 1 seed, on the road. And then, of course, our game on that schedule as well, Hamilton Township, Tri-Valley, 4 seed versus 5. And then we'll take you through the rest of our matchups in Divisions 4, 5, and 6. We've got Johnstown at Jonathan Alder, 3 seed versus 11. New Lex gets a bye in Division 4. They are taking on Fairfield Union, a team that they played early regular season and handled with ease. In Division 5, Union Local, the 11 seed, at number 3, Nelsonville York. Garaway, a 49-7 win last week. They're on the road at Crestview, the 2 seed. Garaway's a 7 seed. And then Ridgewood, 9 seed, 28-7 win last week over Newcomerstown. They're at number 1, Centerburg. So that's our schedule for Storied Rivals Sports Media round 2 coverage of the OHSAA playoffs. Winners tonight move on to the regional semifinal, and we're looking forward to watching it unfold. Want to give a shout out to our friends, maxeffortmuscle.com, the best tasting protein in the game. Make sure you go check out their website, check out all their merch, protein, supplements, workout programs, anything that you could ever want from a fitness perspective, health perspective. Go check them out. Love those guys, and they create amazing content. Corey G and the guys, maxeffortmuscle.com. and make sure you're following us on all the socials, specifically Facebook, X, and Instagram. And on X, we'll have score updates from all of our games that we're covering tonight, as well as highlights from this game as we go, Tri-Valley, Hamilton Township, and we'll post our final scores on all social medias at the end of the night as well as we move forward in these playoffs. We're in round 2, baby, and on to round 3 next week. And I'll see you guys next Friday for Stadium Drive, week number 13, the regional semifinal round of the OHSAA playoffs. But I'm off to cover Tri-Valley, Hamilton Township, 4 seed versus 5, Division 3, Region 11, and we're here at Jack Anderson Stadium in Dresden. And I appreciate you joining us. Be safe out there, everyone. Stay dry, stay warm, and have